Hey there! Have you ever struggled with painting water digitally? Don't worry, I've got your back. Today, I will be sharing my process of painting water in a step by step breakdown. So, first things first, if you don't know, water can add a lot of depth and realism to your creations, making them come to life. Also, keep in mind, water is reflective, transparent, and has movement. Even if the water seems still, there is movement from the wind or underwater creatures, fish, plants, you know. Keep these in mind while creating your water scene. Last thing before we start, if you want to paint along, I am working in 8 by 5 inch format, and all brushes I am using today are free to download in the description below. Alright, with that being said, let's get started. So, where do we begin? Well, we're going to sketch out a small little scene. Nothing too complicated, just a few rocks here, just so we can practice water. These rocks are going to be under the water, so we can practice that transparency element. And we'll have reflections on top of the water to show stuff that's happening off screen, so we don't actually have to show it in our actual scene here. So let's just get these rocks in. I'm gonna probably kind of here. Maybe move it up a bit. Oops. Alright, now it's time for the fun part. Time to start paint. So we're going to have a blue sky as our neutral tone here for the base layer. Oops. Like that. And then I'm going to do this as a separate layer for color blocking. And I'm going to use my favorite blending brush, which is this one right here, Ink 2. Lower the opacity to about 80% and turn this little toggle on. This ties your pen pressure to the amount of opacity it is, so the lighter you press, the lighter your brush is going to be. It's very helpful for blending. So we are going to do a bit of some green here. And I'm just going to come in and make my brush kind of big and just kind of lock in some color that I want. So nothing too complicated, just putting in a variety of color here, making it a bit lighter back here to help sell some depth. And we'll put some more different tones of blues in as well for the same purpose. And then once we got it all blocked in, kind of roughly, I'm going to go in with my color picking tool. It's tied to the Alt key, so I just hold down Alt, color pick, and come in and blend. And the goal is to try to make it as smooth as a blend as possible. So let's see if we can do it. Alright, so we're gonna input some indication of like sand or dirt underneath the water really quick. So with our lasso tool, we're just gonna come in here, select this area, like so. And for objects underneath water, they take more on the hue of the water itself. So these are it's going to be more on the blue green side than it would be the color it would be outside of water, like the brown or the tan sandy color. So I'm going to do a bit of a blue here, like so. Fill it. You didn't get all of it. That's okay. Go. That might be a bit too dark, so like so. And then we're gonna come in and just put in some loose shadows really quick. Kind of give this some form. And I'm going to add a bit of a layer mask here. And this is just going to help us fade this into the water a bit. Like so. Alright. And we will do some rocks. And same with the sand. The rocks will take on more of a bluish green tone. So, and just as we were doing with the sand, we're just going to add a bit of light to these guys to give them some form. to add a bit of a cast shower to kind of ground these guys just slightly. Oop. So multiply. And a bit of a masking layer for the rocks as well. And we're going to put a bit of a rim light on them. Just for a bit of added light. Because these guys are underwater, so they're going to be a bit shiny. Alright, so now we add some fish. I just keep the fish pretty basic, and by that I mean I take this brush and I just do this. I just make them pretty simple. And as we get a bit farther away, they become smaller to almost non-existent. And I want to add some plants underneath. Oops. let's move on to the next layer. So I'm going to take these two, duplicate them, bring them above. Just slightly to push it a bit more underwater. And now we will move to reflection. Alright, so reflections, we'll take ink 2 and we're just gonna kind of assume what we have off screen. So probably a tree, probably some grass. So just take a brown for a tree. If you actually have a scene with these objects in them, you can just color pick those and bring them in here to do reflections with. But we're just gonna have to make do with pretend. So kind of just give illusion off screen. Let's make the tree a bit bigger. Maybe we'll have a tree here. And then we'll take our eraser, that is a soft round, and just softly erase the ends. And then we'll go to filter, oops, blur, Gaussian blur, blur it a bit, tone it down, and there we go. And what I do is I put a shine layer and I take my ink 2 brush, choose either the sky color or the sun color, make it a bit big, hold down shift to make it straight, come in here to add a bit of light reflections here. We'll do more detail as well, but I do this and then erase the ends. Especially if I'm doing a river, it helps give that shine without having to put too much detail in. There we go, and we'll probably do an overlay layer. Go down a bit. There we go. And then let's do some lily pads on top of the water. So this brush relies on both of the colors here. So depending on pen pressure, and we can change its oval shape, ellipsis shape. So as it's closer to us, it's going to be a bit more circular. And as we get more and more away, it's going to flatten itself out and get smaller. Make it a bit more blue. Oops. And then we'll go back to the reflection layer and add some stems to these lily pads. There we go. Next up is we're adding a water break layer. So whenever water hits an object, it becomes really light. You might see it as like when waves break, that nice, the white bright color. That's all it is. So we're adding that here to show the movement of the water. And we're going to add a bit more detail. So we're going to add a shadow layer here. Switch to a soft brush. And the shadow is just going to exist after these water breaks here. And just coming in, adding some of these shadows here. And then we'll do the same with some light just on the other side. So overlay, and then come in here, add a bit of light. There we go. And we'll add some cast shadows on top of everything to kind of set the scene. Like leaves are casting shadow on the water as a whole. Oops, let me, there we go. And just coming in. And we'll add our masking layer and just lighten up some of these areas. And let's add a bit more final touches here with some light. Just coming in and adding it. On top of our little waves, some lily pads. And we'll add some thicker foam here. And I'll add some blue lights from the sky. And we'll blur that one as well. Erase the bottom here. One more blur. There we go. And we'll darken some of this in front of us. And there you go. That's pretty much the tips and tricks I know how to paint water with. Uh, just practice, experiment with your own. There's many ways you can use these brushes to get similar effects or even different effects. I'm still playing around, learning how to do different ways. So if you find anything cool, let me know. I like learning new things as well. So I'm wishing you guys a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful time painting. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.